auto configuration for reactive web servers and Spring Web Flux, auto configuration for Spring Web Flux error handling, auto configuration for Spring Framework's functional web client, auto configuration for servlet web servers and Spring MVC, auto configuration for Spring MVC error handling, auto configuration for Spring Web Services, auto configuration for Spring Web Services client, auto configuration for WebSocket support in reactive web servers, auto configuration for WebSocket support in servlet web servers, support for describing the availability of Spring Boot applications, Fluent Builder style API to construct a Spring application, low-level support for cloud deployment, classes related to Spring's application context, classes related to Spring's application context and annotations, external configuration support allowing application.properties to be loaded and used within a Spring Boot application, application event triggered by Spring Boot, logging integration with Spring's application context, application startup implementation for buffering steps and measuring their processing time, support for external configuration properties, support for add configuration properties binding, general bind handler implementations, binding validation support, sources for external configuration properties, support for type conversion, Spring Boot developer tools, auto configuration for Spring Boot dev tools, support for class path monitoring, DevTools classes relating to Spring Framework's environment, class to watch the local file system for changes, support for the live reload protocol, DevTools specific logging concerns, client support for remotely running Spring Boot application, server support for remotely running Spring Boot application, application restart support, class loaders used for reload support, remote to restart server, classes for loading DevTools settings, DevTools system support classes, client-side TCP tunnel support, classes to deal with the payload sent over an HTTP tunnel, server-side TCP tunnel support, support for failure analysis and reporting, internal failure analyzer implementations, core interfaces and classes for working with Docker Compose, lifecycle management for Docker Compose with context of a Spring application, service connection support for Docker Compose, utilities to help when creating JDBC connection details, utilities to help when creating R2DBC connection details, Spring environment support, support for providing information about an application.